why can I be myself? Why can't I? What's happening? What's the problem? Living an authentic life. My path from people pleaser to confident, rewilded leader. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Shanne and I help female leaders to reconnect to the core of their being and thus create gratitude, awareness and faith in order to guide oneself but also others into a new reality. So if this is something that you are interested in, you should stick around, like and subscribe and check out my other videos later. And don't miss out on my free guide I created for you in order to achieve fulfillment in daily life by understanding and meeting your unique needs. The link you'll find in the description. In this video today, we're gonna talk about my way, how I stopped people pleasing and how I stopped living authentically, following my unique path and embodying it with self-confidence. My intention for today's video is to inspire you, but also motivate you to live a life authentically, to find out what is your way of being, what is the core of your essence, and how you can embody this in order to live your uniqueness. Because I really believe that this is what the world needs the most right now. More rewilded leaders that experience that joy and that lightness and that faith that comes when we follow a path that is in alignment with what is deep inside of us. For me, it was always super easy to adapt to others, right? So to adapt to other personality, character traits, and that made that throughout my whole life, the biggest aim was just to fit in. It was to make others happy. And as this was something very easy to me, I kept on doing it and I never questioned it because it felt very natural to just be like others are. Boundaries didn't existed for me and I shifted the identity like this. Like if you put on a new t-shirt, I was like putting on a new personality. And I did all of that because for me it felt safe to do so. It was like that thought of when I adapt, when I am like the others, I am safe. I am part of the group. I am loved and accepted. And that's all I want in order to survive. And the funny thing about it is that when I think back, I know I was super proud of me. I was proud of me to be loved by everybody. I was so proud of me to easily adapt, and you know, in one moment I was hanging out with punks and rock and roll people, and in the other moment I having these kind of girly talks, braiding my hair with my best friend, you know. So for me both was like accessible and kind of natural. And there was that one friend of mine in school, and she seemed to me very reflected, and I knew that she's answering or asking herself a lot of questions and then answering to them, like, who am I and what do I like and what do I don't like? These were questions I never asked myself, because for me it wasn't important what I like. It was just important how I can make others happy. So thanks to that friend, I started asking myself similar questions. I started my reflecting journey asking myself, who am I? How am I? How would I describe myself? By the way, a super difficult task for me to do still now, to describe myself, but I know why today, so it's okay. Throughout the following years of my teenage age, but also early adulthood, I was a lot in that self-questioning and self-reflected world, especially as I entered then into personal development. But the thing is that even though I reflected about myself, I found myself again and again and again adapting to others. Like I try to not be that girl that adapts, but I still adapted. It was so disempowering to not know who I was, even though I do a lot of reflecting exercises, even though I was in that personal development space. But still not having that answer to that one big question, who am I, was so disempowering. Especially also because when you enter into personal development, this is like one of the main things. And many people and many coaches and whatever try to give you or help you find an answer to that. But still, after years of personal development, I didn't have an answer to that. And I know this cycle would have continued if I haven't found human design. When I found human design and when I get in touch with my personal chart, there was a whole new world opening to me. If you don't know what human design is, I'm gonna link you my video here or also down in the description, which tells you all about my approach to human design, what it is, why it can help you, how it can help you. So go and check that out. The one thing that regarding to that authenticity and identity question suddenly makes sense. It suddenly makes sense why I keep adapting to like whatever is around me, whoever is around me. There is actually one part in my chart that is saying that for me it's super easy to be that social chameleon. So to be the one that changes his color, her colors, in whatever environment she finds herself in. So once I realized that this thing of adapting is actually deep inside the core of my being, that it's actually me. And by living it, I'm living authentically. But by pushing it away, I'm trying to be somebody else. I'm trying to not follow who I am and therefore create resistance over and over again. So I started dealing with it and not changing it. And that changed the whole thing, because suddenly you are allowing yourself to be you and to not see this as something negative, but just to see it as something, as a fact. It just is. And now it's my choice, or at that point it was then my choice. Do I see it as something empowering because I finally understood it and I can deal with it, handle it? Or do I see it as something disempowering because, oh my god, I'm not like the others and I'm easily adapting to my environment and oh my god, it's not good. So I started to see the gift behind that. I started to see the gift that this is why I'm super empathetic, because I can easily tap into others' personality. That creates a huge understanding for their decisions, for their being. And at the same time, this makes me a very non-judgmental person, because I can understand the drive and the reasons behind actions of other people. And that again is perfect for the job I'm doing as a spiritual life and embodiment coach. I can see the motivators of people and I can feel it, but also see therefore what is the thing that has to change in order to create greater results. It was just such a relief to not need to control that part of myself anymore, and instead of like pushing it away, to let it flourish, to see the positive side of it, by still being aware what also the challenges are with this. So as an example, that I can easily fall into people pleasing, that I can easily become a person that I'm not when I'm in the wrong environment. So this is how I discovered my authenticity, but the biggest step was yet to come. True authenticity only happens through embodiment. It's about the way you speak, the words you use, the way you move, the way you act, how you connect with others, and how you set your own boundaries. It's about how you show yourself, your being, to the world. And that was really scary for me, because it ultimately touches the thing and one of the reasons why in early childhood I started to do people pleasing, because I want to be loved by others. So to then stand up for myself and to embody my authenticity is like triggering my biggest fear. So I had to become confident. Without that safe shield of adaptation. Through the last year, I was looking and experiencing a lot when it comes to my fears, like the fear of rejection, the fear of being judged, the fear of failure, and also confronting my personal but also societal ideas and pictures, how I have to be as a leader, how I have to be as a woman, how I have to be as a daughter, as a best friend, as a partner. I honestly never thought that this is gonna be my life. I mean, I'm traveling the world. I'm living wherever I want. I'm in a fulfilling relationship. I have the best friends all over the world. And I feel whole and fulfilled, and like every day I'm following my soul's mission. I am embodying my essence. I am healthy. I am happy. I am free. I am just completely free in my everyday life, but also in my, my inside, like in my inner world. I feel super self-determined. Like back then I've never thought that this is gonna be my reality, but now it is, because I kept going and I started embodying. And this is a story of a normal girl that grew up in a small town in a privileged country where performance is what defines your value. It's the story of a normal girl that just wanted to be loved and recognized. It's the story of me, a person that started to ask herself, hey, isn't there more in life? And get so curious about it that she didn't stop looking for it and searching for it until she has it. This is my story to self-confidence and my personal authenticity. But I'm not the only one on this path. We are many waking up and reconnecting to our uniqueness, our inherent authenticity, and embodying it. And if this is possible for me as a normal girl, it is also possible for you. Start discovering yourself, start loving yourself, start to embody the woman, the strong, rewilded, and yet soft and lovely woman that is inside of you. Start being bigger than your fears and your doubts, and so also you will become that rewilded leader that is so much needed in the world. If you're curious about your human design and you would like to take your authenticity to a deeper level, so I invite you to check out my 3 different reading types. You will find all the infos and the links down in the description, and I wish you now a lovely day. Thank you that you are here. I love you guys. Let's rewild, honey. Oh God. Let's hope for the best with this.